Hello, gorgeous people. Welcome back.
Welcome to episode 4 of Sugar and Spice, your weekly podcast exploring all things feminine through the lens of two very different women. I'm Sugar.
And I'm Spice. And today we're joined with the amazing Gadir Rajab. Stylist, photographer, creative director, ex-fashion editor at Oyster Magazine, and my business partner at Raga Malik. And also you're creating a fucking show.
Is there anything you don't do?
Is there anything you don't do?
No, that's good.
We love a little slushy.
Slashy.
What's a slushy?
Slashy is basically like very self-explanatory. It's like you're a slashy, you do this slash that slash this slash that.
Can you speak closer to the microphone, babe?
Slashy is basically someone who does a few things. I think when I first started doing creative work, you could only do one thing. Like you could be like, I'm a photographer, I'm a stylist. You had to like full like slog away, like be an assistant, get tortured, treated like shit. I was on the cusp, so I was like, right when social media started, I was like, I'm gonna be a photographer, but I'm also gonna style my own shoots, but I'm also gonna like
100%.
be in the shoots. I'm also like all that shit, you know?
Yeah.
And you literally...
Not that I want to be in the shoots, I hate that. But like just saying,
you
could
slay
kind of
everything as well. Like you do it
100%.
so well. So
Guys,
ultimate
we have to do
slashy.
an outfit check.
Oh yeah, outfit check.
Oh, you want to do an outfit check?
Alrighty,
Okay.
guest goes first.
Guest goes first.
Okay, I'm taking these off.
Yeah. So Gadir is wearing one of our samples at Raga. He's wearing Carhartt jeans that I got for him.
My sugar mama.
Hat is praying, and necklace is
From you, that you bought for me too. She bought me the gold and she bought me the pants.
Cute. We love it.
okay. Sugar, the very, very, very sexy Sugar
Love it.
is wearing a vintage corset, a really hot skirt from Raga Malik. The necklace and earrings are from Zara. The bag is Gucci. The shoes are ASOS, and the heatless curls are really giving. We love it.
Alrighty, Spice is wearing an absolutely gorgeous dress from Raga Malak and vintage boots, super cute with the fur, a Fenty bag, and overall gorgeousness.
We love it.
Alrighty, so let's have a little recap of the weekend because we all had pretty cute weekends. Tell me what you guys did.
So, yes, the rumours are true. We were invited to the Dua Lipa concert with John Paul Gaultier.
So yeah, we went for dinner at Society with like the Gaultier team. That was cute.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Met the Heartbreak High kids.
Cute.
Me, 31-year-old,
Love them.
like hey, like 20-year-olds.
Oh my God, what did the
girl?
what did it
She's
say?
like.
I was like, I finished year 12 in 2013. She was like, I was in year 5 then. I was like,
She laughed. She was
Oh
like,
God, I would have been, should have been in year 3 when I
yeah,
was in year 12.
that was so sweet though. And
It's
then
so sweet.
yeah, and then we
Bless.
got taken to the concert, which was like super cool.
amazing.
Yeah, and then I didn't know half the songs.
Yeah, I was like, if you don't want to.
I knew those ones, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we went backstage.
Did you?
Yeah, we got to
Yeah.
meet her. We were in the dressing room. Like we got to do like shots. It was actually really nice. She
It was
so nice.
Gadir farted.
No, Raquel dropped her guards.
Babe,
Like,
you guys
Raquel,
farted.
and I'm
And he
yelling at her in
blamed it on
Arabic because
me.
everyone thinks it's me.
Literally, Dua's like,
Dua-
what's that smell? And I'm like, babe, here.
I love how she's turning it around.
She's
on
turned
you.
it
We all
around.
know
Anyway,
it was
let's let her
Raquel.
have it. Let's let her
Oh
have
my
it.
God, I love.
She never farts. You know,
Wow, really coming for me. I don't fart. But yeah, that was amazing.
fully like Dua was looking like, and it's like, babe, out of all places.
I love that we've all just gaslighting me with this fart. Anyway,
I mean, I wasn't there,
Gadir
so-
farted and I got my period. And
You used your period. You're okay. Is this a thing? You tell me. Do you fart and you can't control it when you're on your period? That's what she used
Yeah.
as an excuse.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I give you that. So
it
it's
wasn't
fine.
me. But okay, next.
Done,
Lexi,
done.
what
All
did you do on the weekend?
I had my first holiday with Bae.
Oh, where'd you
So
go?
cute. Went to Byron.
I love it.
Probably just like 5 days, but like sun, gorgeous food.
have not seen
tanning.
sun
I
here
know,
in so
it's
long.
so trauma here, but so beautiful. And yeah, it was really nice.
Oh, I love it. Did it bring you
So
closer
cutie.
together?
100%. Like came back and like both talked about how we feel like we're in a new phase with the relationship. Because I guess we spent a lot of time together, but this was spending 5 days on end
How
together.
long have you been together now?
8 months.
Wow.
Like a little bit of a
Break.
situation in between, but we got back together and now it's amazing.
Well, I know you went to Ray's because my friends were taking photos of you at Ray's and sending me pictures.
Because he's wearing the Raga hat. Yeah, that's
Full
really
stalker,
love
babe.
it.
I love it.
Okay,
I
we're
love it, I
drinking
love it.
Moondog fizzer.
I'm drinking pink flamingo.
Same.
Peach iced tea. Cheers.
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 Darlings. Welcome, Gadir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, let's start. So let's start off on how we met. Or maybe like how we started working together.
Okay, so I want to say what the turning point for me was working for you at IMG and like...
Working with you.
What did I say?
For you.
Tipsy over here, 11 a.m. Yeah, working together and like just having a really good work dynamic and only having one flight. We had one flight. What was it?
Which we had two.
What was it?
They were both in LA.
It was the same night though.
One of them because I asked him to take a photo. I asked him to take a photo of me. We were buying luggages. And I was like, babe, can you take a photo of me? My friend sent me this thing. Like, I want to get content for her. And you were like, I'm buying suitcases. Oh, I'm doing this. I was like, oh my gosh.
So
and then, let's talk about second fight. And then we're at a restaurant.
You're
and
like a married
ordered
couple.
all this
So
stuff. And I just went to taste the soup. And he was like, you're so entitled. You can just have some of the soup before I've even tried it. I was like,
all right,
babe.
so let's have my version of this. So we're fighting. Okay, so Raquel is the type of person that if rain, hail or shine, like someone's like passed out in the corner in the gutter, she's like, get a photo of me. So like we're having the most stressful day. Like
Leo Gemini.
Yeah, most stressful day at
Okay,
work.
but I'm also the type of friend that I will take 20 minutes to get the right shot for you. I don't care. Every
I can
angle.
vouch for
and
that.
the friend that just takes a photo and is like, bling, here you go. Like, there's a special...
I'm also a Gemini.
There's a special space in hell for you guys.
No. But I'm also like, I'm Gemini. If I'm not in the mood, I'm not in the mood. Don't force me.
Very
Don't make
moody.
me take
Geminis?
20 million photos of you in Santee Alley when
Babe,
we're
you didn't
shopping.
even take one. You didn't even take one photo.
fucking
Doesn't
deserve
feel
it.
like a married couple.
Anyway, all right, moving on.
moving
And then
on.
the soup
We
thing.
work.
Clarify, because
Okay,
I just look
sorry.
stingy. I look stingy now.
Okay.
The soup thing, it was soup, I remember.
It
We're
was
at
soup.
dinner.
Yeah.
We ordered dinner. This person is so entitled.
To try a spoon of his soup.
Before I'm so angry. We've been fighting
You've
all
ordered
day.
5,000 things.
Before I even get to try it, she's already like,
It's like that. I was like, oh, I'll try
let me just fucking
And then
taste
he
the thing
yells at
before you
me.
throw your fucking fingers in it, you know?
Anyways,
Anyway,
also, may I
moving on.
add, I really wanted to go to that Armenian Lebanese restaurant in LA. What's the name of it?
Carousel.
Carousel. I was like, Gadir, I really want to go there. I really want to go there. I said it so many times. And then I called him one day in LA and I was like, babe, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm at Carousel with some friends. I was like, you selfish, greedy
Babe, as I
shit.
said, I am petty.
How can you enjoy this
I will
food
be
without
petty.
me?
I'm petty. That's
Yeah, anyways,
it.
moving on.
Moving on.
But you guys do love each other. This is just like
Yeah, we love each
We're almost married. Like, it's
That's
very,
what I
we spend a lot
said.
of
You're
time.
like a married
but
couple.
like she literally is so good with remembering. Like you can ask her like what's your cousin's sister's dog star sign is. She'll know it. Like she's so good at remembering things, knowing things.
Yeah.
I don't know anything. I don't remember anything. But when it
Good
comes
yin and
to
yang.
making creative things, like so we're like match made in heaven.
I love it. You
We
are.
work really, even though we would talk about these little petty fights, but even at like GR, we worked so well together.
Yeah.
We knew how to make it like a really good space. At
Your petty
shoots.
fights are just because you're like brother and
but
sister.
like-
Because we
Which
spent
is
so much time
cute,
together.
yeah.
But if we're fighting about that time that we'll in like LA about soup, it's like
Yeah,
What's that
exactly,
sort of a fight?
exactly.
It's never been
exactly.
anything like super
No,
bad. But
it's brother and sister
Yeah,
energy.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
very cute.
yeah, and it's really nice because, so I think it's really good to have a mentor.
Well, your mum calls me her other son.
Yeah, my mum always says she's got two sons.
I love her.
She buys him socks.
Oh, cute.
Like bright orange, like woolly
Lovely,
socks.
Guppy, that's so
So
cool.
cute.
Okay, so Gadir's always been a really big mentor for me and has taught me so much and just inspired me so much. He's
Yeah.
a gas up for you. Like, Gadir's one of those people who like doesn't see the hurdles in front of him, he'll just do it. He's a doer. He's got so much confidence in his ability. Even if he's never done it before, he's going to be the best at it. And like at a young age, like, I mean, I was like early 20s, late teens. I feel like he really took me under his wing and I learned so much from him. And one of the biggest lessons I learned is to really believe in yourself.
100%.
I mean, I always believed in myself in other ways.
But you have to if you don't back yourself,
Who
you're
else is
never
gonna
going to
do
be
it?
successful because you have to work with conviction and you have to work with the like uttermost confidence, but not in a cocky, arrogant way.
No.
In a like, I know my shit, I'm good at my job, like I'm going to absolutely slay everything I do.
Because that's the only thing that differentiates you from someone else.
100%.
Like you can both be super talented.
But
one person
can't be
believes in
cocky.
themselves.
I just have to like disclaim that because when people come into a space, a creative space, whether it's a magazine or a brand, and they're like, I know my shit, I'm so good at this, and they try and speak over everyone else and try and claim the room.
Yeah.
You got to learn, it's like confident, but no
Yeah.
place at the
100%.
same
That's
time.
actually all the advice I give. Like I get asked so many questions like regarding styling, and the main one is like, how do you get into it? How do you do it? I always say like, you just have to be confident. Like
100%.
you're getting hired by this like team, this commercial team, like, you know, it might be Nike bonds, whatever. Like to come in and just give your input. And like at the final shot, they're going to be wearing one little gold hoop, but you're like, this is the coolest, most amazing, relevant gold hoop ever. And you have to say with conviction, and they're like, yes, that's why we're paying you X amount, you know? But if you come in and you're like, oh,
like maybe this gold hoop.
This gold hoop. Oh, I don't know. What do you think? It's like, you're done. Ciao.
Yeah.
So like,
you can't give space for somebody else to like.
It's all confidence, but it's also like with styling, I feel like I get a lot of people messaging, and like I'll look at their, like, you know, the kind of work they're putting out there, and sometimes it's sad to say, but this is the reality of this is the truth, that it's just like you just don't have the eye, like you know, if your friends aren't coming up to you for style advice or asking you to dress them or you know, trusting you in that, then maybe this isn't like for you. But also like I think studying styling is a scam. I don't think it's real.
I completely agree with
that these poor kids who are paying like these schools to go and steam clothes and make mood boards, it's not a thing. You can do that at home. It's all, you know, we live in an era where it's all the digital age, where you have free advertising through social media. Like, you know, you used to be like, as a stylist, you used to like have to like assist for years, get like tortured, and then get your credits in a magazine. People had to open a magazine and see your name, look your website up, find you, hire you. Now it's like you have access like to everyone. You can find like the best stylists. You can create your own shoots in your backyard, like everything kind of, you know. So if you have the eye and you can just make that happen, that's the best advice I would give.
Can you tell us the story? I love this story of how you in Italy, your big first styling job, and how it was like so many people and you just did it.
Oh my God, yeah. So I had a Tumblr. They used to just post like a lot of random collages and stuff on.
Yeah.
And I got hit up by Ruini. It was like this like big ad agency that used to do all like the Gucci campaigns and stuff. I was like 22, 23. And they hit me up and they're like, hi, we want to talk to you about a major Italian campaign, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, you just got to, that's the thing. It's the confidence. You just got to like, of course, like not question or not be like, oh, I don't think I'm suited for this. Any normal like someone who, you know, I could have easily been like, oh, sorry, I can't, I'm so young. I'm in Australia.
Had you styled before?
No, this was photography.
I was a
photographer before I was a stylist.
Okay, yeah.
And it ended up being this brand Trussardi, which is now like been revived by like Sir Hart, who does GmbH. It's like such an amazing brand now. And basically, within a week of discussing, like having chats with them, I got flown to Milan. I was shooting these like top models. There was like a team of 60 people.
Wow.
I was shooting it on film. I was like talking to like Gadir Rajab, who's like the daughter of this like big company that's been around for like 100 years.
Yeah.
And I was just like facilitating everything, like just like off, you know, like just high on like the energy of like making this happen. And then it worked out. It was like billboards. It was like a lot. I learned a lot from that because I threw myself in the deep end. There was a lot of like post-production fuck ups that like shouldn't have happened, but like I learned so much. And then that was like my first big job. And then from that, it kind of just led to me knowing how to just throw myself into like a big production, because the productions in Europe and the US are so different to here. Like
100%.
It's like, you know, you have to do your thing. You have to come in. There's so many egos. You have to figure out how you can slot yourself into that.
100%.
You know, really like just, and so that was amazing. That was my lessons. That was my uni. That was my like, I never assisted a photographer. I never assisted a stylist.
You went from modeling to photography to styling.
Modeling, which was like trauma. But like this was a thing. I never wanted to be a model, but I got scouted to be a model with Ford in New York. So I was like, I'll get a credit card.
Crazy.
I'm 19. I'll move to New York and just like utilize like this opportunity to like have a house. I was living in the model house with like 10 guys, and I just got to like, you know, go to castings, meet people with brands, magazines. I just like got a film camera and started shooting the people that I was like hanging out with, all these like hot models, and then I got it in a magazine. Yeah. And that was just like it kind of was just like a natural flow. And I think it was just the confidence. I like you just kind of have to be a professional finesser when you're starting off. You have to like really know how to like, I hate the word network, but like when you're young, you kind of have to do it.
100%.
If you don't want
to like, make it.
Network in a way that don't just put yourself in a situation because you kind of want to clout chase and grow in that way. Find the right opportunity for you
totally,
and immerse yourself. And what you were saying before about throwing yourself in the deep end, that is like the key. Because some people are so afraid to just go for it. when I was at uni, I really wanted my first like writing gig. I started quite like not low, but I started with small publications, like the local Greek newspaper. But I always wanted days, and I was like, I'm just going to put myself out there. And cold emailing is my number one tip. People are too scared to do it. They're like, this person doesn't know me. I'm too scared to put myself out there. Do your research, find the exact person that you need. So I found the art editor at Days, and I just cold emailed her, and that literally started my whole career, just like one email. And I remember she didn't reply for like a week, and always follow up because I followed up. And she's like, I'm so sorry I missed this. We're moving office. Thank you so much for following up. Just these little decisions about pushing yourself.
How was Dazed?
Yeah.
Like, did you get looked
What's
after?
the tea with Days?
Days was absolutely amazing.
Did they pay you like $2.50?
Yeah,
That's
pays,
UK.
that pays terrible.
It's like 5
UK
cents,
pay,
and
literally.
like, I need you here till midnight. Like,
UK pay is really, really bad.
Yeah.
So just put that in the context. But at the same time, though, I don't think you should definitely find, don't sacrifice your self-worth like in exchange for pay, if that makes sense. So don't take a low-paying job because you think it's going to pay off in the long run.
Yeah.
Always know your self-worth.
I just feel like
And
as
if
a
you think-
writer, surely you're driven to that from a passion. You're not driven that for money, because I think you should maybe...
100%. But at the same time, don't be schlepping it long hours if you're not getting paid. Like really put your boundaries down to begin with, because I know my self-worth and I know that I want to learn a lot, but I still worked within 9 to 5.
That's how I was too.
Like,
I
I'm not going to...
bent over backwards for anything. Like if it was like that, like big jobs where I was like so
100%.
stressed because I was working with like Ismaya French and
You have to know your
all these
worth.
big people, and I was like, oh my God, how the fuck do I navigate this? I don't know shit.
Because otherwise you just get walked all over, and it's sacrifice, that mental health sacrifice is not worth it. So just make sure you're not like you're putting your boundaries down.
I do believe though that there is people who can throw themselves into the deep end and navigate all this. There's some people who don't have, they have the eye, but they don't have the confidence to just be confident. Like you can't just be like,
Because I
be
think some
confident,
people are more collaborative.
So they need to be nurtured. They need to follow someone. Some people are comfortable within that space of just being the shadow of that stylist for 3 years or the photographer. And it might, like you can say, you got to know your worth, but like that's what they feel their worth is in that moment
and
until
that's
they
okay.
evolve
totally
and feel
fine.
comfortable.
Yeah.
So,
but I think being in the shadows is also fun, because I know me as a writer, I always wanted to be on the back, like not invisible, but I didn't want to be in the spotlight or the limelight. So I found my passion in writing because you could express yourself so amazingly, but also just be kind of like behind the scenes. What you were saying before about having the eye, I think that's one thing, but then also occupying a space which is totally innovative, where the world isn't executing anything visually similar. I think that's what you've mastered so well, is like you had an eye, but you also pursued this amazing space of innovation that was just pushing the boundaries. Because if you don't push the boundaries, you're not going to ever get seen. Push it hard. Totally. Push the boundaries.
And I feel like we've even done that with our brand.
100%.
It's so different. Like I feel like there's such a gap in the market.
That was the thing. Yeah, it's like you see so much of the same now.
Yeah.
And we've been working on designing these things for so long, and we needed it to feel different because we started seeing some of the same styles, because we tried to trend forecast so far ahead.
It's hard,
And I think it's like paying off, and I definitely agree that you just have to really have your own identity within
100%.
your confidence within your, like there's so many factors, but I totally agree. Like
endless pursuit, just keep going, just do it, hustle with boundaries, but like know your worth, know your confidence, and just do it.
Someone was asking me when I put the little Q&A up, like how do you find friends in the creative world, which I think is really interesting, because I grew up as kind of, and I feel like a lot of this with kind of all of our friends, we're all kind of the black sheep of where we come from, and have all kind of migrated to each other, of like, not that we had a horrible life, but like before, but like it was always this like element of like not maybe particularly fitting in, and then finding this space of like solace, which is,
that's you and I, how we met, which is crazy.
100%. But I also think like Gadir's brother, who's like a good friend of ours, same thing, like you as well. Like I think we all just come from such different worlds, and then so like what advice would you guys give to somebody who's like trying to find friends like within the creative world?
I guess you two can speak more on this than me, but I really think social media is like such an amazing way. Also like DMing.
Social media, going to events where people are at, like-minded people.
Photography exhibitions, art exhibitions, or if that's the type of people you want to meet,
Because you'll just like nurture each other, you'll bounce ideas off each other, you'll get inspired by each other, like you'll see like, some like everything trickles through like small groups of like friends and creatives. Like for instance, Balenciaga and Gucci and all those people, like they're like, the rave scene, all this stuff. It's like that's the young kids going to the raves.
That's another big thing.
Who are
like
buying
partying.
at $5 and then they're making it like $1 million. And it's you just got to find your people. And even if it's going to be like a hurdle of you moving out of like a little town or something, going to a big city, you'll eventually find those people.
Yeah.
I think what you said about rave culture is really interesting, because I think we all met kind of partying, and that is like so aligned to creativity, and you're going to find your people
100%.
at a rave.
What was your favorite club or rave?
Of all time?
Lexi and I met in Berlin, which is so funny.
It was at Berghain?
No, we didn't.
We just
Lucian
met at
actually set us up.
An art show.
A friendship set up. An art show, but then
we lived 10 minutes away from each other in Melbourne.
Yeah.
We met in Berlin, which is so funny.
Really
like
funny.
Destined to be. Favorite rave? What was that one? Was it Power Station? What was the one in
What was-
Melbourne?
what
It
was
was
Power
like
Station?
4 levels. And it was like peak.
I had my 21st
Survivor.
birthday
Oh,
there.
Survivor.
Survivor.
Why do I think it was called Power Station?
Survivor was so
the
good.
peak. Peak
Yeah.
Melbourne, and then nothing has really.
And then it was bottom end, Survivor.
Survivor
and
was.
then, and then poofed off of you feeling like cheeky.
Yeah. And now it's just El Garib.
Now it's
100%. I'll agree all the way.
Okay, so what's our next little topic?
Karens.
Okay, Karens. Okay.
Should we talk about
influencer Karens.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, we're talking about like on the topic of networking.
Yeah.
Can you guys tell us some interesting people you've come across in your networking time?
I've had like a cute year with like meeting really sweet people that I didn't expect to meet, but I was just like in LA recently, and then I got a DM from like Addison Rae, like full TikToker girl. She was so sweet, wanted to shoot.
Yeah.
We shot her in some raga, and then Emma Chamberlain, which is super. It was just like this new era of like the TikTokers and the
I love
YouTubers.
that. I love Emma
you know, they're
Chamberlain.
like at the Met Gala on the cover of Vogue now.
Yeah.
Like they literally are like paving the way of fashion.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting thing to like think about, because like I've crossed over from like that Erin Watson, Abby Lee, like, you know, heroin chic, like eating disorder and era, to this like new era where it's all like healthy and happy and sweet and treat each other nicely and like, you
We
know,
love the
viral. And worked with Kelly Uchis, which was amazing. She was so nice.
Have you had any like
Dua Lipa on the weekend, doing shots with her, you know. But I think also if you want to be a stylist and work with celebrities, but you're like, do it if you like enjoy clothes and, you know, being social and stuff. Don't do it if you're a fan, because there's
100%.
nothing worse than like being on set and there's just like people who are so starstruck they can't even do the job, you know? So like that's another advice that I would give.
What about like influencers? Have you had any issues with influencers?
any Karen influencers?
I feel like
You don't have to name names.
I think Karen's
but
is a
give us
separate
stories.
conversation. I think influencers, like we're now experiencing that. I think we worked at IMG, we met like the top tier influencers, you know, they're super sweet. And we've obviously got a clothing brand, so we've got a lot of people who've been reaching out that we've been reaching out to. But it's been very interesting experience because we're a small brand. Where we have our own brand identity. You know, we come from these backgrounds and we've, you know, built these friendships with these influencers, and you know, we're very generous with gifting. Like, you know, we're like, hey, well, you know, you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
This untold thing that if you're giving someone clothes, they're going to post it,
100%.
right?
Is that
And I
not
get it, it's
happening?
different for like a big major brand, fast fashion, who has so much stuff, just gifting it to you, whatever. It's not a big loss for them. But for us, it's 3 years of work.
Oh, it's like, all right,
it's
like people
take $1,000 worth of product.
Yeah.
We'll let you choose whatever you want.
Yeah.
We've also DHL'd it to you, which is with you within 5 days. It's cost us like $150.
Yeah.
And all we get is a blurry fucking photo on your story of like half the top and your tit. Like, I just think that's so entitled
100%.
and like, I mean, I get it. They're like, I'm a business and I'm a creative and stuff, but it's like, you're just like, it's like, don't engage with us and don't sell us
devalue
this
small
false
businesses as well.
Yeah, it's like,
So
because eventually like, all right, cool, amazing. You're supporting us when we've launched. You're wearing something that you actually enjoy that is, you know, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
And eventually we're going to evolve and we're going to grow and we're going to hire you for a campaign. We're going to put you on our runways. We're going to like, and it's like, now that you've just like taken a shit on us at the beginning, like we're not going to support you anymore. Ciao. So I think that's like, we're learning, and like I'm very surprised because like some of these influencers, they're like, oh my god, I want to shoot with you, I want to collab, and it's like, yeah, sick, let's collab.
They'll milk you up.
But like this is a relationship, like let's nurture the relationship, and it's like, all right,
Surely
cool.
that's
Take your blurry story photo and move on to the next brand that you're going to exploit. Because I'm just chow. There's so many other people who are going to.
We've made a blacklist.
Have you?
I was just like, I'm so surprised. I was like, and also there's a lot of people who are taking their time. I know a lot of girls and boys get clothes sent to them, but the ones who within a day were like so keen to post it, but a story, like blurry
Yeah,
story,
no,
little Agamalak in the corner. It's like, okay, babe, like you know, nothing came
People
out
like
of that.
to gatekeep. They love to gatekeep
They love
their
to gatekeep
looks.
a brand, yeah.
There have been some influencers that will post it but won't tag it. And it's
What?
like, you're my friend. You're not going to support
Yeah.
me. And you know what? Starting a brand or starting any business really exposes your true friends.
100%.
Friends that support you, like how surprised were we? But the amount of friends that supported and bought it.
But I always said I don't want anyone to feel obliged to buy it. I don't want
No,
like,
but it's not that.
Yeah.
A follow, that's free.
A follow
A
costs
like,
nothing.
that's free.
100%.
It's all of those things. Like when you
Yeah.
start something and you have no friends
really see who
behind
your
you.
true
you
friends
really got
are.
to suck it out of people these days.
Yeah.
They're your friends. They're meant to back you to the nth
100%.
degree, as we all do
Yeah.
for our friends. That's the
Yeah.
one thing I've
But like,
found.
it's just funny because like, yeah, anyway, I'm like, there's so many amazing supportive influencers, but then there's ones who are like, oh my God, I miss you, I love you. It's like we met for 5 minutes, like,
Yeah.
and I've sent you all these clothes
Can't
and
do
you've
fake.
given me like a picture of your toenail, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's fine, whatever.
Let's talk about Karens.
Let's talk about Karens. I feel like who's the biggest Karen out of us?
Lexi for sure.
In what way? I'm just safety first.
Yeah. I think that's only
No,
Karen
I
that
don't
you
think
have.
it's safety. Yeah, like I'm
Safety.
like, you know, like
Safety driving. And
what do you mean? How am I Karen with driving? I
feel
just
like
can't drive.
No. I mean, yeah, I'd say safety.
I'm safe. I'm super.
You've got a lot of
super- I'm
precaution.
super. Like everyone kind of who meets me as a new person, so my boyfriend this year has just learned that I'm
Yeah.
cautious, like about everything because
Yeah.
I have this fear of dying. So
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
therefore,
yeah.
I'm like super cautious. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I Karen?
You're like drunk Karen. You're like a messy girl, like 10
You're like
drinks in
sound
Mykonos.
Karen. If you're around Gadir, you cannot make a sound because everyone else will hear you and you have to be a mute.
there's
Your
different types
neighbor,
of Karen.
someone 3 suburbs away could potentially hear your ringtone, so put your phone on silent. Or like, you are
Babe,
so
I'm
cautious
traumatized.
with
I'm
sounds.
traumatized.
wonder why.
I'm just, I'm traumatized by
I didn't
noise
realize there were
complaints.
different types of Karens.
Yeah, there's different types.
What's
There's
Raquel
tiers.
though?
What's mine?
Raquel
Drunk
is like,
Karen?
What does that
like
mean?
Raquel is like drunk Karen, like off her face in Mykonos,
Babe, I
tit
can't-
out, like yelling at you, telling you like, you know, take me home, like, or you're like,
Take me home.
you're like leave the club randomly, not tell anyone, like,
Is that Karen?
I don't know if that's Karen.
what's
Babe,
that?
I'm not a Karen. Stop trying to make
That's
that
like
happen.
a smoke bomber.
I'm
You're
Well, I'm not a
Karen.
Karen too. You're trying to say me that
You're sound Karen. Admit
What?
it.
Yeah, you've got a Karen in you though, babe. It's
But I'm
somewhere.
not.
I do. You know what? Okay, let me tell you guys a story. Sit down.
I'm sat.
I got my first paycheck when I was 15 years old, and my mother has really expensive taste, and I wanted to buy her something. So I went into Maya and I bought these new pair of Chanel sunglasses. They were like $900. It was all my money. I bought it and then I wrapped it up and I gave it to my mum. My mum was like, Raquel. Oh no, wait. Let's backtrack a bit. The woman working at the Maya was so helpful, so sweet, and so my mum was a gold card member at the time, which was like quite affluent. So I wrote a letter to Maya saying she was such an amazing employee, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. She wrote me a message on Facebook and she was like, hey, because of you, I got a, a pay rise or
Yeah.
whatever. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. I still have her on Facebook. But I'm the type of woman that like, if you're nice to me, I will make sure everyone goes to your nail salon. I will tip you. I'll be there. But the moment you're rude to me, I will make sure that no one ever steps into that business again.
I agree. So
And
that's
it's
your Karen.
I can't deal with people who hate their jobs
Yeah.
and project that onto me.
Yeah.
People who are like,
I told you about this one time that I went into a beauty store in Brighton and
Yeah.
one girl came up to me. I won't say which one it is, but one girl came up to me and she was so rude to me. Like, I'm asking you questions because I'm a bit of a beauty newbie and I expect you to help me. She was so short. It was almost like, how do you not know this? And I'm like, well, I'm coming into your store for help. And it makes me I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm
But
like,
then
see,
I
if that was me, I'm like, girl, I'm going to
I feel
make
like me and you
sure
always get
that I
judged.
speak to whoever's on top of it,
Yeah.
I will
Yeah, I
speak to
should've
the
done
owner
something
of this
about
entire
it.
company
It's made me
to
feel
make sure
so
that they
shit.
know that you are rude.
Every time we go shopping though, we look like full tip rat, like crack pipe on the floor, like let's just left
we'll go
Centrelink.
into like
so we get
go
judged.
into Balenciaga,
Judge a book by
looking
its
like
cover.
the most scraggly. Oh my god, you know what
I was
happened?
like, when Balenciaga, I'm like, oh, I want to try those boots on. He's like, you want to try those boots on? Like,
my-
scared of like my socks, like my just like fully
serious?
like.
But yeah, sorry.
So your Karen is like service Karen.
I'm the classical service Karen. If you're nice to me, I'm not
Yeah.
even joking. I will go the full mile.
Yeah.
I will like
Yeah,
bring
I believe that.
you know, but
I'm very like avoid drama, hate it, don't want
Yeah.
anyone to start it. And then as soon as like I will never start it, but if someone comes up
yeah.
to me like and they try and start something, I'm
Yeah.
like fully like
do you remember,
crazy
Do you remember
person.
when we went to Spotlight?
Like,
do you remember we went to
I just had
Spotlight
this
during
memory
like
of you,
COVID
Gadir.
times?
Yeah.
And there was this like old Karen and she was like doing this so I could be like 1.5
Yeah,
meters
she-
away from her. Even though I was there and she came to me and she was like hitting me and she was like, you got to move. I was like, babes, I'm here. You can move. And it's just, sometimes it gives a bit racist, but that's fine.
I'm getting a bit of a time, Karen, from you also, from Rhodes. Do you remember that night?
You girls are taking so long to make a TikTok.
Oh my God, babe, come on. We're like sitting
it was
there
like
doing
half an hour. It was half an hour. We were almost like, no one was even ready.
Didn't want to go out. He was like, I'm not going out. I want to chill. I want to like kick back. And I was like, okay, cool. We're all going out. And then the girls were like, let's make a TikTok.
2 hours.
Babe,
no, it was like an hour. It was half an hour. But the point was, no one was even ready when we were finished. Yeah. That was the killer.
And then we finished. We're like, okay, fine. We'll start making the TikTok. And
I was ready to go out, and I gave you the.
You were ready to.
Yeah, but then you guys were like, no, you were like, come out, blah blah blah. It was midnight. All of a sudden, it's 1:45. You're still making a TikTok in the backyard. We're all sitting there shotting tequila, like so tired. Got to get this fucking. And it was like, I was like,
okay.
Girls, we take long. So we never made that TikTok. It was really sad because it was amazing. It would have gone viral for sure. So thanks, Gadir.
Is there any other way we're Karen? I'm Karen to also rude people that are like really. I was at the airport. I came
we're
back
like reverse
overseas.
Karen. I think we've labeled it wrong. We're like defending. We're the ones that defend. Yeah. It was like that time I was doing coke with Miley Cyrus and Misha Barton and Cara Delevingne, and then like I was just like off my face in this room, like just talking their ear off, and they're like, "Can you get out of the room?" No, I'm joking.
I was like, what?
I changed the story. No, like we were. It was actually Misha Barton, and they did that too, but. Not name dropping.
I love it. On the topic, Gadir, do you have any extra fun LA stories for us?
Yeah.
Celeb tea.
I'm not gonna like out people for a podcast, but that one time that I was with Paris Hilton and she was like,
you don't have to name names also.
Actually, she's Lindsay Lohan. She's like changed now, so she's like on Netflix. She's like sober girl. Yeah. This was like 10 years ago. I think this is a funny story. So I was in London and I was with certain friends who were like in her friendship group, but this is when she was like on her spiral, but he was like really hanging on by a thread. Was? Just a friend, I don't want to say the name. Okay. And she came over and we had like a few people and I was sitting next to her and I was my friend whose house it was and Lindsay was there, and it was that time that they did the prank on Paris Hilton where she went to Dubai and they pretended there was a plane crash. So this was like this fucked prank they did on Paris Hilton. She had no idea, and the plane was crashing and like she was crying and everyone was watching it and everyone was like drunk and they're like, oh my God, look what they did to Paris Hilton. And I'm just sitting there like, this is fucking crazy. Like I'm literally from like the Commission Flats of Melbourne and now I'm sitting in this fucking gorgeous house and I'm sitting next to Kendall Jenner and Lindsay Lohan and they're all off their face and it's just super funny. And then Lindsay Lohan's like, so she was really trying to get close to Kendall and she's like, what does she say? She's like, she's so jealous of your sister, like blah, 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 like full husky voice, like just trying to like, trying to really like side with her, like Paris is fucked. Like she's like, you know, Kim's better, all this shit. And Kendall was like, oh, get away. Like, and then she was supposed to be sober. It was after the Oprah thing. And she's like, I did coke only 10 times, you know, that time where she was like sober girl. Yeah. And I've like always been like, oh my God, Lindsay, like, you know, you just kind of love her. And then I was just like watching her like a fucking psycho. And then she got so drunk and she just kept drinking vodka. Everyone had left and then she disappeared in the house. It was a 4-story house and we're trying to find her to like help us find Lindsay Lohan. So we're like trying to find her and then we go to the top. Apparently she ended up in the maid's like room on the top floor. Like she's like the house, like the caretaker of the house, and she was like trying to steal her jewelry and like
what? Oh, poor lady.
I know. It was like, I don't know.
It sounds like I
think she
dream.
had like klepto era. I was like, split it with me. I'll help you.
It's like a deal.
Oh, Lord. That's crazy. That sounds like a dream you have. All these like people come in and all these names and like eating pizza and
yeah. It was crazy time. It was like I was 23. I'm like 31
that's a
now.
lot for a 23-year-old.
Yeah, so it was ages ago. So it was very like a time, you know. But I'm like, whatever. I'll tell the story. I don't care. Like, everyone's gonna be like, how dare you expose Lindsay Lohan? She lives in Dubai now.
Do you remember that psychosis outside of Berkheim?
My psychosis?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Do you want to talk about my psychosis? Which one? The one last year on the 30th in lockdown, or the one outside Berghain?
Let's get random and ask some random questions.
Okay.
Gadir, have you had any near-death experiences?
Like 6, girl.
Like 6, Jesus.
Give us the best one.
Jesus.
One at Rainbow.
Rainbow Soap and is a festival in Victoria.
Where I just had too much to drink. So many falafels, so much like chickpea, edamame, peas, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Pizza's really good there.
I had a liquid. I didn't know what it was. And yeah, I just ended up in the medical tent. So that was like my first near-death experience. And then I
Are people telling your brother that you had passed away?
Yeah, so like
Not passed away. I remember
was-
we took you in the medical tent. So we're like in this like little cart thing. And then we took you there and they're like, we don't know when he's going to wake up. And so Adam is Gadir's brother, we're sitting outside and then all the crew came like consoling Adam.
Also, I'm very, you know me, I'm very like, Adam, you're not allowed to breathe, you know, like, so like, you can't do anything.
No, the worst part
And then
was.
I'm just like there like.
Babe, after he was revived, the worst part is that you were like, let's go back to the party.
Hey.
And we were there for like 2 hours waiting.
Babe, I paid $350 ticket.
Okay, this whole sounds like my trauma.
I volunteered. No, I didn't volunteer. Yeah, anyway, that is trauma. But it's like young, you just do fun shit.
The thought of festivals today that actually makes me feel sick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did go to Esoteric at the start of the year. And that was fun. But
You're just like, yeah,
there
but
was a
I'm
lot
still
of
there.
crack.
Where?
Just like at the doof.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the
Why you
thing.
said that?
And then
What advice would you give?
to a stylist who's trying to make it out there.
Wait, I want to hear one more near-death experience
Okay.
story.
I was in Lebanon and I was getting a nose job and I had an anesthetic and I woke up on the anesthetic and then I could hear the doctor being like, we've lost his pulse. I don't know if I was hallucinating.
Maybe you were dreaming.
Nah, but why would I, like, I could feel it. I could feel I could hear the sensation of them on my nose, but I couldn't feel it, you know?
Wow.
So that was fucked. That was like traumatic. And then, what else? I almost fell off a horse when I was younger. I was at holiday program with the Commission Flats. Our parents would send us like during holidays. You pay like $2 a day and you go to like Carlton Bars and they take you like horse riding and stuff. And it's like, why are you putting this like Arab kid who can't even like do anything for himself? He's like 6 years old on a horse and telling them to go. They're like, go. And it was like, we're making us race.
It's very
in the middle of nowhere, like in Shepparton.
I remember my siblings used to do that with the city council. My parents would work, so they throw them. I'd be too young for that stuff, but they had fun.
Yeah,
It was
I
fun.
loved it. It was like they just every day was a new thing. Toboggans, horse riding.
Cute.
Yeah. It was a vibe.
Toboggans. What is that?
When you
Toboggan.
go down like on the snow in like a little plastic.
No, not the snow though. There's a toboggan park. Like it's like a slide.
You don't need snow?
No, you can do it in the snow. Like you're wearing your own toboggan, but there's the actual
That's the only
toboggan
thing I can do
park.
at the snow.
It was like out north, and you literally, it's like you go up the hill and you sit on this thing, and then you just literally sit on toboggan and you go down this like metal
sounds
slide.
fun.
It was really fun. Yeah.
Okay, now a question for all of us.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to your 15-year-old self?
Don't have any boyfriends until you're 28. I said this in the first episode, but that's probably my
That's
biggest
your
regret.
main advice?
Yeah, because everything else, like, I'm cool with. Like, I really love, I was thinking career-wise, but no. The one thing in my life that I would redo is my dating life.
Yeah.
100%.
Mine's just like keep doing what you're doing. I feel like I don't regret anything.
Yeah.
I started partying so young. I started traveling.
What about you? What would you tell your younger self?
Just believe in yourself, girl. You got it. Like,
Yes, yeah.
I think you guys can relate too. Especially, I think Gadir and I, because our parents are very fob. Like, they're fresh off the boat, came from war, the same Lebanese civil war expats. Not expats, what are they? Migrants. And so for them, like, the only thing on their mind is like security. So for me, especially with my siblings, like, we all really chased like the road of academia.
Yeah.
And, I went to uni, I did all that. But the creative world was never really something that was like an option for me, I guess. Because not that my parents ever enforced that on me, but because my parents sacrificed so much, there's first generation guilt where you just want them to know that all their sacrifices was worth it, you know, which I'm sure a lot of us feel that pressure.
Yeah, me being second gen.
Yeah.
It's still the same. No one in my family was creative. I was the first one, and it felt, but I didn't feel like I could never do it.
Yeah.
Like, my parents knew that they would back me no matter what I did.
Yeah. No, because my mom was an artist. Like, it's not my mom. Like,
Was she?
Yeah. So it's not like they were against or anything.
Yeah.
But, you know, my brother's a doctor. My sister's a human rights lawyer. Like, so but for me, I always loved fashion. I always loved dressing up. I always loved, you know, more like putting on a show, like doing that kind of stuff. It wasn't really pushed to me, but it was always something that I was drawn to. So I'm really happy that I followed that in the end.
Yeah.
So my advice would be, your parents will support you no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, just do it. And when you really believe in something and you really chase it, success will come.
Yeah.
And so you can show, there's always that part of you that wants to give back to your parents and let them know that their sacrifices were worth it.
Yeah.
And you can still do that in other avenues, you know, like it's not just through being a lawyer, doctor, engineer that you can do that.
Totally.
One more thing I would say is like go freelance sooner. I feel like you are
100%, I agree on
raised,
that.
you're raised to go into full-time work, and it's good for experience as someone in my field like publishing, but as soon as you can, go freelance and learn how to master it so you can just work for yourself, because the most
100%,
liberating
yeah.
decision.
Because you're probably going to end up being freelance at some point anyway.
Yeah,
You're going to
so
want to
do
work
it
for yourself.
earlier.
Everyone
Yeah.
wants to work for themselves. Like
Yeah.
that's like the luxury. That's the end mark. I think working for
100%.
someone like for 30, 40 years, you're going to be left at the end like, what the fuck? I should have created something on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
And hang around with people who have different creative things as you.
Oh,
like if I ever need
100%.
writing advice, I come to Lexi. Lexi will ask me something about fashion. But it's like you just feed off people.
Yeah.
If I need music, I'll come to Adam. Like when you're around people that are doing all different things as you, it inspires you. Number one,
100%.
I think that's actually a really big piece of advice. I would give.
Don't just surround
Just
yourself.
be with friends who inspire you. If you're with a friend who doesn't inspire you in any way, why are you friends with them? All my friends inspire me in their own ways. Like that's a prerequisite for me to be friends with someone, to be close with them. Is that they whether it's to be courageous, whether it's to be more caring towards my family, whether it's there's an element of them that inspires me.
It's not
through
just
work.
creative, like it's like also
it's like something else.
personality traits that like you might be lacking that they can like really help you and like nurture. And
A lot of your questions, people just want to know, like, how do they get into the industry? What inspires you? Like, what is something that makes you just go, wow?
I guess, your inspirations, because you're so innovative. So we need what
I'm just
your
inspired
inspirations
by the scene that I'm in, the people that I'm around, like traveling, like obviously all the same things that you just assume. But I actually don't get as much inspiration from social media because it's all just like micro trends. Like it's all the same fucking
TikTok
thing.
has really ruined fashion as much as it's exposed people to different styles and whatever.
It's like you either look like Bella Hadid or you're like a basic bitch with like 2 strands on the front. And
every
like,
single woman is dressing like Bella Hadid. A motorcycle jacket, a little skirt, some Adidas shoes, a headband, and some glasses. Like everyone dresses exactly the same.
I mean, like,
which
I
is
love
fine.
her. I'm obsessed with her. I just think that you just let her, like, you don't need to like rip her whole style off because it's like so clearly ripped off, you know? Like it's like you can just tell. It's like, babe, you literally have no identity. Like be original, like bring some flavor into it. Yeah. But I think to answer your question, if you want to get into the industry and you feel that you have like, you know, what it takes from what we've spoken about, like the confidence and the eye and all that kind of stuff. You just have to start doing your own shoots, like start, you know, collaborating with young friends. Shoot your like cute friend in like a backyard and just like style them with the clothes that you have. You might have some like cool vintage design and mix it up. That's like the best platform because you have access to the rest of the world on social media, like creative directors, casting directors, like magazines, publications, they'll all see it. You just have to tag the right people, get the, you know, like you just have to like literally be so thirsty for it and get yourself out there and use social media as
also.
the free like advertising that it is, you know? And if you're not doing that and you're just waiting around and you're studying styling and you're just like, you know, watching and in the background, it's probably not going to happen. Like,
So one last question, Gadir.
One last question for you, Gadir. Are you more sugar or are you more spice?
I'm obviously spice. Yeah.
Sorry, girl.
Sorry, I'm cool over here.
I actually hate sugar. Not like sugar, like in general, like I'm not like a sugar person.
Babe,
you know,
you love custard.
babe, custard, that's it.
Custard, donuts, chocolate.
Really?
But it's halib.
I know, but I'm never sitting there being like, oh, I need my sugar hit. Like I don't get horny
that's
for
me.
sugar. I'm
That's
very
me.
like,
But
get
okay,
me
we're
a
not
pizza,
talking-
get me
It's
pasta.
me.
Get me,
Okay, but we're not talking about it in like.
I don't get horny for chocolate. Like it's
but
is
we're
it
not
sexist to
talking-
say that girls love sugar more than men?
No, I reckon that's,
I think that's
pretty
a thing.
true.
Like,
Yeah.
throughout my life, I've just seen girls be like, oh,
Yeah, babe.
A lot of
Like, I
men
need
love chocolate,
chocolate.
guys.
huh?
A lot of men love
but
chocolate
I
and
like
ice
we
cream.
I've never
can't we
seen-
can't go a meal without having a bit
Yeah,
of
it's
sugar.
very
A
like,
lot of men are like that too.
it's very like drive to
No.
7-Eleven at 4 a.m. to get a maxi bun. You know, like it's not that. I don't do that.
I mean, I think period
every boy I've dated
cravings-
is like, whoa, you had a lot of sugar. Some tried to police me on the sugar that I ate. Okay,
so
asshole.
weird.
But then
That's
someone's
fucked.
just like,
It's. I was talking more about an archetype. Are you more sweet?
Yeah, no, I know. I just brought up sugar. Like, no, but totally. I think I'm spice. You know, I'm spice.
Yeah.
Spice.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
okay, you
that's
guys think
cool.
I'm spicy? Like you are. I think you're more spicy than me. I think I'm more sugar than you.
What do you think? What's so spicy about me?
I feel like you tell it how it is.
Yeah, I do tell.
There's no like sugarcoating it.
No. No.
That
Rather than
makes it quite
I've realized
spicy.
recently that I have a little.
Babe, this one doesn't tell it how it is.
No, I tell it how it is.
Yeah, but you're sweeter and your approach.
If you
she's
come
sweeter.
for me,
Sorry, babe.
no, okay, I don't know actually.
I only came for you once in Greece.
Did you?
Didn't I?
Wait, when?
The TikTok.
When we were fighting. I'm like, poor Cesura. Okay, Cesura.
No, I think when it comes to like actually going up to someone and like coming for them, like I have actually never met anyone, sorry, it's going to sound egotistical, who's as good as it as me. Like if you said something about you better sit the fuck down and let me tell you exactly.
I don't know, babe.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I think you do it in a very
you're tooting your
considered,
own
like,
horn, but I don't
tiptoe way.
agree.
Really?
Yeah.
I've realized actually recently that I have a little ounce of people pleaser in me.
Biggest people pleaser, babe. Biggest people pleaser. The biggest people pleaser I've ever.
Like,
I'm just be a Virgo.
No.
'Cause, like, she's
no.
like,
if someone like asks something of me and I care
She
about
does
them,
it straight
mind you, it has to be somebody that I care about. I will stop every single
she's
thing
like,
that
I'll
I'm doing.
drive, I'll pick you up chocolates, flowers, I'll
which is
take
cute
10
ass.
photos. But it's like, this person will send her clothes that we've sent clothes to, hasn't done a photo for us whatever yet.
okay.
And then she'll she hasn't even taken a photo in Raga yet. I gotta go out to the woods, sticks and do a whole photo shoot with my sister for this brand. It's like, babe, they're like, they don't even ask you for it.
I
You're
like
just a
to
good
act in a
worker.
way that I would like people to act towards me.
Totally. And your mum's like that. They're very giving. They do a
Yeah.
lot. And I get that. I'm
It's
a bit
dangerous
more
'cause you
like,
get walked all over sometimes.
I don't people please.
Yeah.
Maybe
No,
that's
I don't get walked over. Guys,
people get-
come on.
No,
I'm not placid. Like,
not walked all over, but like people will
take advantage of it.
Yeah, and not-
maybe, but if you do, then
not treat you that way in response.
Yeah.
As we've seen with
Nah,
the
but
support.
you're very giving. You'll do a lot for people. I do that too, but I'm just not
do.
like, I won't bend over backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what?
Oh, yeah.
You know what's so funny? I'm gonna actually bring this up.
Yeah.
Can I bring it up?
Bring it up.
Okay.
Wait. Say it in Arabic.
Oh no, it's like a full story, but it's not
Okay.
bad. You can cut it out if you don't like it. My mom was talking about how like friendly and warm you are. She was like, Gadir is such a friendly and warm person. And we were
You're like, no, he's not.
I was like, really? You think that's like, he is really warm? And she's like, yeah, she's like, he's just such a sweet, loving, warm person. She's like, and then
You also know I hate compliments, so don't make this like a full long
no,
compliment.
I'm not.
I'm dead.
But I think like maybe other people that
Keep
like,
going.
I think maybe other people would like maybe not see that in you straight away and think like because you intimidate people. But yeah, like it's so funny how my mom thinks
You're like, guys, he's actually not a cold-hearted cunt. He's really warm.
You're
My mum
not.
said it.
You're really
My mum
warm.
said so.
you're really warm. You are really warm, but I think a lot of people don't know how to act around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm mad about
But that's
that.
none of your business.
I'm
Like,
mad about that.
Yeah, no, exactly. And how someone views you is none of
No,
your
that's
business.
fine.
It's
No, but I don't treat anyone less. Or
no,
No.
never. You're actually such a sweetie.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming.
Episode 4.